Hi and welcome to Code with Stein. This is part 12 of building a time tracking SaaS using Django and Vue. In this part I'm going to deploy the project to a live server. The project will be hosted at minutos.codewithstein.com. If you want to check it out, I'll add a link in the description. So the first thing I'm going to do is to install the software we need. So I have logged in to the server here on the right. First I need to update everything, so sudo apt-get update so that I update all the packages. And then I need to upgrade, so I just press up and replace with upgrade. So then everything will be upgraded. Yes. So this is a Ubuntu 20 server, which I just created on DigitalOcean. So nothing has been installed here before now. Now that the thing is upgraded, we can start installing the packages we need. So I created a couple of commands. Here we install Python 3 pip, Python 3 dev, libpqdev, PostgreSQL, and PostgreSQL contrib and Nginx, and hit enter. And yes, I want to install all of the dependencies. So instead of using SQLite like we had done earlier, we are going to use PostgreSQL because that's much better for production. Okay, now that that's installed, we can install a little bit more. We're going to use Certbot to get SSL certificates, and this is going to be needed to install it to Nginx. Yes. Okay, great. Then we can continue by creating the PostgreSQL database. So I need to change into that user sudo u postgres psql. This was created when we installed PostgreSQL. So you can see here now, I am the PostgreSQL or Postgres user. Then we create the database by saying create database minutos and create user, because you need a user to connect it, minutos user with password, minutos password, there should not be equal, so just like that, and alter role minutos user, set client encoding equals to UTF-8. You need to do this because of Django. And we can also set the default transaction isolation to read committed. Sorry, it was supposed to be 2M, like that. And we can also set time zone to UTC. And then we need to grant some access to this user. Grant all privileges on database minutos to minutos user. Okay, sorry, typo again. Privileges, like that, sorry. And then we can quit PostgreSQL because now everything there is done. Then we need to install virtual environment, but we're just going to upgrade pip so everything is okay. Sudo -h pip3 install -upgrade pip. It's just okay to be sure that everything is up to date before we do anything more. And sudo -h pip3 install virtual env. And then we want to make the home directory for all of the web apps and where minutos should be placed. mkdir -p for path web apps /minutos. Then we can go to that directory as well. Next we want to create a user for this web apps. Sudo group add -system and then the name, which is web apps. And then we want to create a user to this group. Sudo user add -system group ID is the web apps shell bin bash. And then we set the home directory for this user web apps /minutus, and then the name of the user, which is minutus. Then we can create a new virtual environment like we did on the local server, virtual env, minutus env. Then we can go into it. Okay, and now that I'm inside the environment, I can activate it by running source bin activate, and now it's activated here. Perfect. Next step now is to install the software or packages we had on the local server. So if I go back here, I can say pip freeze, and then I will get a list of all the packages we have installed there. Then I copy this, go back here and say touch requirements.txt, vi requirements, and paste them there. And then to install all of those, I just say pip3 install -r requirements.txt and hit enter. And now we should get all of the same packages as we have on the local server. So then I think we can set this to done, we can set this to done, and we can set this to done. We have installed the packages, but we need to get all of the project files. To do this, I go to GitHub code and copy this URL. And then I say git clone and just hit enter. So now I have it here, minutus. And I can go into it, minutus, and everything here should be okay. So then I can go back to the Visual Studio here and set this to done. Next step is to create a settings file for production. So if I go into minutus here, cp, copy, settings, settingsprod.py, vi, settingsprod.py, and I want to set the debug to false, but I need everything to work first. Allowed host can be set to minutus.code with stein.com. Then I can scroll further down. These two also has to be changed when I go to production, but since this is just a test for me, I'm not going to do it. Then I can go down and find the database. Instead of using SQLite 3, we're going to use PostgreSQL PsychoPG2, and then the name of the database we created, which is minutus, and then the user, which was minutus user, and then password, minutus password. You need something more safe than this, of course. Host is local host, and port can just be set to empty. Sorry, forgot to add the quote there. Great. And then we can save this file for now. So then I can set this task as well to done. And then we are going to use Gunicorn as the server to host Django. But we are also going to use Nginx, and I will explain that soon. But we can begin with the Gunicorn. So we need to install this by saying pip3 install Gunicorn. And then let's go back here, and inside, one more time, folder. Inside the bin folder, I want to create a new folder. Touch bin Gunicorn start. This is a starting script for the Gunicorn server. Vi bin Gunicorn start. Then I paste some code here. First we set this where the bash is located. Then we set the name of the project, the Django there, and then the socket file. This will be automatically created. The user we just created, and the group we created. Num workers is the number of CPUs you have on your server multiplied with 2 and then add 1. Since I have 1 CPU, multiply that by 2 and add 1 will be 3. Minutus settings prod is the settings file we just created. and the WSGI is a file that's located in the same folder as settings. And then when we run this script, it will go into the Django directory. It will activate the environment and export a few things to the bash. And then it's just starting everything here as it should. So now we can save this. I will add all of these files to the GitHub so you can get them there if you want. Save and close. And then I can go back here, set this to done. Next step is to install Supervisor. Supervisor will start this script we created and also make sure that it's always running. But before I do that, I need to make this file runnable. So chmod +x bin Gunicorn start. This will make it executable. Before I continue, I just want to say thanks to my Patreons. And I should also make all of the files and folder in here. Instead of, if I do this now, you'll see that it's owned by root, and that should not be the case. So I can also create a logs folder here, so we have it. But chown -r and then minutos, which is the user I want to run, and make it possible to change files and folder here. And web apps. If I now check who's the owner, you will see that minutos inside the web apps owns everything here. Perfect. And then we can install Supervisor, apt install Supervisor. And when that's done, I can go into cd/etc supervisor confd. There's no sites there yet, so if I create one by saying touch minutos.conf, and then I edit it. First we create a program called minutos. The command we want to run is this Gunicorn start script we just created. You run it with the user minutos, and then we have a reference to a file that will log from this supervisor if there are errors. Now you can save this and say supervisor ctl read to check that everything is okay, and then supervisor ctl update. So then everything seems to be okay. If I say status, we'll see that it's now running, so everything should be okay. Perfect. So then I can set this to done as well. Next step is to obtain the SSL certificate. To do this, I can just say Certbot, since we just installed it earlier, -s nginx -d minutos .code@stein.com. Then I add my email code with stein@gmail.com. Agree. Yes. And since this domain is pointing to this server, everything should be working now. And I want everything to redirect. Yes. Okay, so now everything there should be fixed. Perfect. Just want to copy these two paths in case I need them. Just paste them there. Then I can go to cd etc nginx sites available. I don't have anything here yet, so I need to create one. So touch minutos.conf vi minutos.conf. Then I can paste some lines of code here, and I will talk you through that. First, we create the upstream app server. This will point to the stock that is created when the Gunicorn script is running. Since we're using SSL, we first need to check and listen to port 80. And if you go to HTTP, you will be automatically redirected to HTTPS. And then we create one more server down here, which listens to 443, which is SSL or HTTPS. Server name is minutos.codewithstein.com. Then we set the access log and the error log. Here are some links to the files we got from the Certbot and some little bit other information that the thing needs to run. Then we set up a location because Nginx is hosting the static files and Gunicorn is hosting the Django project. So all files in the /static will be hosted by Nginx, and the same with media. Down here we create a proxy that redirects all or pass all of the traffic from Nginx to the Gunicorn server we created on top in this file. Now we can save this, /sites enabled, and then we need to enable that site. So ln-s, we need to create a symbolic link, /sites available, minutus.conf. Then we can restart Nginx service, Nginx restart. And then hopefully if I now go to https minutus.codewithstein.com, hopefully everything should work, but it says welcome to Nginx. So there is an error somewhere, or at least there's something wrong. Okay, I removed the default site, I restarted, and now get a 502 bad gateway. So someplace in the files I created is an error. You can see if there are any in the logs. So /webapps minutus-env logs and Nginx error. Let's see if that says anything. Yes, it wasn't able to create this. Okay, so if I now go here, cd webapp minutus, everything here looks okay. So tail logs Gunicorn, tail logs Supervisor, failed to boot. Okay, so cat log Supervisor. Let's see if I find what's wrong here. No module in Psycho PG2. Okay, I can try to say pip3 install. Oops, pip3 inside Psycho PG, like that. So pip3 install Psycho PG2. Then we wait for it. Then I can try to restart again. See the log, and now it seems like this is running. So then I refresh, and now I was logged in here. Perfect. Okay, I noticed that the images isn't loading, so I just want to see that I added the right path in the Nginx config, cd etc Nginx sites enabled, vi minutus.conf, alias. No, you see that I said solve gadgets, which is a different project I have created. Sorry. Minutus, like that. Then we can restart Nginx again. Okay, there is something wrong. Sorry about the mess. Okay, there is just a small typo. Forgot to add the semicolon. Then we can restart. And now the pictures is loading. Perfect. And we have the HTTPS up here. So now the project is deployed to a live server. The last thing we need to do now is to just copy this address. Go back to the project here. vi minutus settings prod. And then I need to set debug to false because it should not be true when you are in production. Then the website URL is this. And that was it. I hope this wasn't too confusing. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. And thanks for following along. I hope you liked this, and if you did, please click like and share below. And that was it for this series. If you have any suggestions for more features that can be added to this project, please leave a comment below about that too. See you in a new video.